up, my beautiful people? Seriously, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Kira Graves. I am a queer, gender fluid human. I'm an actor and a content creator, and I am here to serve the gays. I literally think that's my purpose on earth though, low-key. Let's talk about masturbation today, all right, let's get into it. Today, I'm going to be giving you some tips on how to pleasure yourself if you are a vagina owner, mainly for like beginners, but even if you're not a beginner, you might learn something from this video. This is not talked about enough. I am very passionate about spreading the word of the sex positivity. So before we get into the video, make sure you check out the links in the description and go follow me on Instagram and TikTok. So, masturbation. Why is it so taboo? Dude, pleasuring yourself is A, normal, B, healthy, C, good for your mental health, D, good for your sex life, E, improves your confidence and could improve your self-love and your comfortability in your sexuality and your body. It's a stress reliever, but it's also valid if you don't have any interest in it and you're not into it. So why are we placing so much shame on it? Throw it out the window right now. Get rid of it. I'll watch you take out that trash. But it's okay, like I get it. I grew up Roman Catholic. I grew up believing that masturbation is a grave sin. And you know what? I actually used to pray and confess after I masturbated. Even though it was like a very normal thing for me to do, I was like, this feels dirty, this feels wrong. But in reality, it's not dirty or wrong. It's society that, and Catholicism and religion maybe, that has like placed this upon us and we don't need it. We really don't, okay? It is so normal and so healthy. Also, I don't know if people talk about this enough, but I started at a really young age. I was probably like 3 or 4 when I was exploring my body for the first time. And it was a purely curiosity-driven thing. Kids are curious. They're gonna wanna touch their bodies, and that's okay. Why are we shaming children for doing this? And then later on, like down the line, when I probably got into like high school, I started back up again and I was like, oh my God, yeah, I remember when I used to do this. It's okay if you started young. It's also okay if you started late. Everything is valid. Also, I fucking hate the double standard of like, with men, masturbation is so normal. They talk about it so much. Growing up, they were really never shamed for masturbating. However, people with vaginas and females and women, yes, we were. And it was so, shh, don't talk about that. You know what I mean? At least for me growing up, this is what I've perceived. When men masturbate in movies and film, it's like so normal. Whereas when women and females masturbate in TV and film, they turn the script and make it into like a very sexual thing for the male gaze to perceive and enjoy. Which is annoying. So I can see why a lot of women and afab people don't feel comfortable touching themselves, because it's like, A, you've only seen it through the lens of it being something for men to enjoy, and I want to really throw out that narrative right now. And you haven't really seen it through the lens of like, I'm doing this thing for self-care, I'm doing this thing for me. I think if women and people with the female experience were predominantly the filmmakers of our generation, our views about ourselves, our sexualities, our own bodies, masturbation would be completely different. I'm sorry, I'm going off on a tangent right now, but I hope it resonates with someone. But let's get back on into the tips, okay? Number 1, I recommend you to set the mood, okay? Imagine you're going on a date with yourself. You are carving out time in your day to have a little me time. You could even schedule it into your calendar. Set up the space wherever it is. Make sure you're comfy. Make sure you feel safe. Make sure you're not gonna be disturbed. If you live with roommates and maybe it might make you anxious if they're there, wait until they leave. Light some candles. Make sure the room is warm. You can play music. Play whatever music you want. You can listen to nature sounds. I love listening to nature sounds. Oh, makes me feel like I'm doing it in a forest. Another thing that I've recently started to do is some deep breathing before you start, because sometimes like our minds and our energy is like so scattered and all over the place that we can't really arrive in our body and like be present in our body and in the moment. So I find that like taking some deep breaths, you know, counting to 4, holding it 4, and then letting it go for 4 counts is really, really, really helpful. Number 2, start like warming up your body to the feeling of touch. Literally just like start running your fingers along your body, like on your skin, whatever areas you like to be touched. Touch yourself lightly and sensually. So this can include your neck, your lips, your inner thighs, your stomach. Just start like warming up your body, being like, I am giving myself a treat right now, you know what I mean?
I was listening to this Call Her Daddy episode called The Guide to the Female Orgasm, and it explained so incredibly how different people with vaginas and people with penises orgasms are. I didn't realize how much foreplay and how much precursor arousal people with vaginas need in order to orgasm. So if you're interested in that, I highly recommend checking out that episode.
And you can have your eyes closed, like you don't have to be looking at anything unless you want to. And you can even start like touching yourself over your underwear. You don't have to go like straight to like being naked. Like you can have clothes on, you can have as much clothes on as you want. Number 3, I want you to give yourself as much time and space to explore what you like, because this is your time that you've carved out for yourself. It is self-care. Just explore like what areas do you like being touched, because then you can note, oh, maybe the next time I'm having sex with a partner, I will keep this in mind and maybe I'll tell them to touch this area. Don't rush it. You can't be stressed. This is your relaxation time, so really enjoy it. I'm not gonna go into the super nitty-gritty details, but there actually are a lot of really great resources on how to learn the nitty-gritty details. Just starting out, like, I wouldn't recommend like going crazy with a super intense vibrator or anything like that, unless you're experienced. Just use your hands, or you could use the shower head. I remember my best friend in high school being like, yo, have you used the shower head? And in that moment, I was like, I love you. I love this human. You're my best friend. Especially if you have like a detachable shower head, you could use that. But you can also just like lay down in the bathtub and like put your pelvis underneath the like running faucet. And also there's running water. So like if you make noises, like most likely people aren't gonna hear you unless you're super loud. But if you are more experienced and you do wanna experiment with toys, like go ahead, do that. I also recommend using lube because you might not be like wet right away. So you're gonna wanna have some wetness. It's not fun to touch yourself down there when dry. Trust me, get some lube. You can go to a sex store, drugstore, order it online. I know there's lots of websites where they can like ship stuff to you discreetly. I feel like for anyone who has sex, lube is like the #1 thing that you should have at all times. Lately, I have discovered guided masturbation audios, okay? These are life changers. There are audios you can listen to where they kind of tell you like, okay, now start to do this and start to touch yourself here and, you know, go faster, go slower, go in circles, like see how you like it. These are so helpful, especially if you're new to the world of self-pleasure. You can also listen to sexy audio stories to get you in the mood. My favorite place to listen to those is on Dipsea. This video is actually sponsored by Dipsea, but I love this app, you guys. I'm gonna be using this from now on since I've discovered it. Basically, it's a app, it's a platform where it has so many guided masturbation audios, sexy stories, fictional stories. It is so feminist, so inclusive. There's lots of queer stories on there. It'll say like, would you like her and her? Do you want her and him and him? Do you want non-binary stories, dominant and submissive stories? Dipsea also has sleep stories and wellness sessions. New content is released every week. You can really explore like what you love and like what turns you on. I think everyone needs to have this app, genuinely. Obviously, anyone could use the app, but it is made by women for women, which I think is so special. You know it's gonna come from like the female perspective and like the female gaze. There's so many cool fantasy stories you can find on there. Like for example, there was one, these two girls just started talking and the one is a massage therapist and she invites her over to her house to give her a massage. But then it turns into sexual massage and it's so hot, you guys. You can even listen to it with a partner to heat things up, to get things going. Dipsea is offering you guys a 30-day extended free trial to check it out. All you have to do is go to dipseastories.com/Kiera in all caps. That's 30 days of full access for free when you go to DIPSEA stories.com/Kiera. Dipseastories.com/Kiera. I really hope you find something awesome on there. So I hope that this gave you a little bit of an introduction on how to fucking masturbate with a vulva. I really hope you learned something. Let me know in the comments if you did. And I really wish the best for you and your exciting new adventures with yourself. I love you and I will see you in my next video. Mwah!